Mondrian is a great painter, a well-known painter. He himself considered his work to be spiritual art, and particularly theosophical. He considered his work theosophical. Other people have misinterpreted his work or have tried to cover up that he was into theosophy, so you don't really hear about that. But he has a great attitude on theosophy. And his work was a transition from spirituality, from materiality to spirituality. If you read his things that he wrote, it's about a transition from materiality to spirituality. And this is an early attempt. Representational work is more material. He ended up with neoplasticism, which is the rectangular abstractions. This is like a purification, as a dematerialization, these abstractions, and then later just purely abstract work. It's a way to transcend. He's into transcendental philosophy, and particularly directly related to Theosophical literature. And he credited Blavatsky, and he said he got it all from Blavatsky. And so he's very deeply interested in Theosophy. Wasily Kandinsky is another spiritual artist. He would consider himself a spiritual artist. He wrote On the Spiritual in Art, and that is a work that refers to synesthesia and also to a sort of moral message to the arts and a sort of utopian mission. And he was involved with many greats. He was involved with Bauhaus. He's involved with a lot of people who were into different manners of occultism. So you can see this is an early work, and it shows an interest in heritage. Looks like a Viking scene. This is a biomorphic abstraction. This is derived from his color theory and his ideas about rhythm and motion. He moves on to geometric abstraction of cosmic schemata. So this could be related to, things greater than to scale of man. It could be more cosmic, more, like astrology about, trajectories of planets. It's all deeply tied into his color theory and ideas about composition. He knew Paul Klee, and Paul Klee knew him. This is another great colorful artist, abstract expressionist, who was he knew what Theosophy was. He would have talked about it. So it's another person who's interested in Theosophy, spiritual art. Malevich is another one that knew about Theosophy, was inspired by Theosophy, but he was an intellectual who thought on his own terms. He created suprematism. He was into transcendental philosophy. He was into his own stuff. He wrote a lot. But another person who can be qualified. I put these symbolists in a different category. They make things with mythological motifs which reflect an interest in Theosophy, And these ones were directly involved with the Theosophical Society or Theosophy. Jean Delville was a member of his local bracket of the Theosophical Society. Jan Turalp, symbolist, very much interested in fighting materialism. This type of work has a complex and deep significance for him. This is a Russian theosophist, so he's from Blavatsky's country, which reflects an interest in historical narratives and tracing one's heritage, perhaps back to Babylon. This is František Kupka still. Scriabin is a composer who corresponded with Kandinsky and also speculated on synesthesia. He was a very ritualistic composer, and he's from Russia as well. And he read Blavatsky, was part of the society, and wrote very mysterious compositions while having these visionary ideas about how to put on a concert that also included dance and visual performance. And he he proposed the idea of a piano with lights, a clavier lumieres. And they had a sort of mystical relationship to the keys. This is Helma Afklint, a female, a mystic, who was a painter. And like Blavatsky and Alice Bailey, she, granted authorship to an ascended master, someone from Tibet, dictating to her from across the world occult ideas. And her stuff looks like occult diagrams. This is a piece that was created for Blavatsky and the Theosophical Society by an artist who knew Blavatsky and met Blavatsky, and it's now in their headquarters in California. Here's the logo again. So at the top, above the swastika, we have an AUM. In Hindu, it says Om is what monks chant. It signifies 3 deities. Below we have the swastika, which is from Jainism. It's a benevolent symbol. The snake is a Ouroboros, a never-ending circle of life, and the snake, in some ways, embodies the aspirations of the Theosophist. What looks like a Star of David is an intermingling of the lower entire principles, and then the center was the Tao of Egypt, with the slogan, "There's no religion higher than truth." So that statement, "There is no religion higher than truth," should be viewed in relation to our idea that dogma is bad, and you're accountable for your actions or something. And so anyone who's interested in mythology, I might add, is this might also reflect an interest in Theosophy and in any number of any one of the 3 objects of Theosophy.